Hello traders, it's Graham here from Kilted Trading again. It's been a little while since I've had a webcast, so decided to jump on and give you guys some help, announce a few things and review some of our trade calls. So as normal, let's get right to it. So we've been looking at, or I've been looking at recently, how to basically present some what I'll call sort of pure price action trading sort of indicators. So I've basically bundled everything in the one indicator so that you can get the best out of I guess reading the tape, as they call it, because candlestick patterns, if you're a price action trader, which is very popular at the moment, trading price action rather than relying on any one particular indicator as such, is reading the tape. So candlestick patterns, by definition, they've been around for hundreds of years, invented by the Japanese, and they basically tell a story. So there's candlestick patterns that are, I guess, more significant than others. So what we've done is you guys can have a look at, I guess, some of the patterns and what they actually mean. There's you can just Google it on the various patterns. Some of the most significant ones that we use here at Kilted Trading is the hammer candle. I'm a big fan of hammer candles or pin bars, as I sometimes like to call them. You've got engulfing candles, both bullish and bearish engulfing. This is where, one candle, the open and close, if you like, or the range of the candle engulfs the range of the previous candle. So in this case, we have a bullish candle here, which basically totally engulfs the candle that goes before it. The opposite for bearish. With some other formations, you've got the morning star, which can be, depending on where the trend's at, can be bearish or bullish. And we've got some other ones here, evening star, as an example. Harami, I don't tend to use Harami too much. I tend to call that sort of trade that as inside bars, and particularly with the trend, which we'll come to see in a moment. But basically what I've been working on is picking out the most popular candlestick patterns and basically put them in the one indicator. So we've come up with the Kilted Price Action Trader indicator, and it basically has everything, all the bells and whistles in the one indicator. So we've got the MACD here, we've got our Kilted Strength Mirror, but we'll actually just turn off the MACD just for a second so we can look at pure price action. Now, the way I've set up my chart is quite common amongst I guess professional traders. I'm no different, or we're no different here at Kilted Trading. Depends on the time frame you're sort of looking at, and I guess dependent on where you're picking your signals from. So in this case, we're actually I've got a few alerts set up for picking signals off the 4-hour chart, in which case if you're going to take your signals off your 4-hour chart, you definitely want to have the daily chart here for direction. We always talk about the bigger picture here, so we've got the daily for direction. If we're getting signals based on your 4-hour, you're then dropping down to your 1-hour to take your entry position. Okay, so it's a smaller time frame for you're looking at your, I guess, pinpointing your good entry point. So what does the Kilted Price Action Trader actually give us? So let's have a look here. So in the interest of time, I've drawn up I guess something of interest. So we see here, obviously we had some updates to our Kilted Strength Mirror, where we can see basically the at a glance we can see what's happening in all 4 time frames. So if we just move this one down, a little bit. Let's move this one over, see what this one's doing. So we've got on the daily, we've got sideways movement. On the 4 hour, we've got an uptrend, as we can see that here with the moving averages. And on the 1 hour, we'll be looking to take an entries. We're sort of going a bit sideways, according to the Kilted strength mirror. But one thing to have a look at, which is, I reckon it's a first. I haven't seen anything like it on TradingView, and it's always something I've been wanting to have a look at, is basically a way of scoring a trade. So we'll go there first, because that's probably one of the key differentiators before we actually break things down. So if we go in and look at what we've got within the price action trader, we're also looking to take things off the candle close. That's what, this one you got the whole stack of options there, but all the defaults are pretty good. We've got the fast EMA, the slower EMA on which is the 2050. Look, you can have those settings on pretty much anything, for stock to futures to forex. I tend to have, I must admit, I have the 82150 sort of is one of the ranges I've had, but you can totally customize this. 2050 is a good setting to start with. Depending on your currency pair, I sometimes like to actually adjust those so that you can see where the price is respecting, which is a little tip there. And the 200, look, few folks have it on the EMA as well. SMA's still a good guide. Pretty much every trader, whether you're a stock trader or forex trader, you're going to have the 200 on there to see. It's one of those key levels or indicators that pretty much everyone has on their chart to see where price is going. So we've got that. And if we just run down, we've got, if you're looking for short trades, you can basically show only the bearish candles. If you're looking for the long trades, you can take the bearish candles off and say, okay, I just want to see bullish candlestick patterns. And then you can also say, okay, I want to see bullish candles, but I actually want to see them relative to the 200. What that's really saying is that if price is above the 200, then I want to see bullish candles. And the opposite is true with bearish candles. So it's going to paint bearish candles only when you're below the 200 SMA. And then you can show for some of the labels here, which we'll come to, we'll rip through those in a sec. But some of the labeled sort of the key sort of price action candles, you can basically detect trend based on the EMAs as well. So they're sort of hard set, if you like, so against the presets here. So they will show relative to trend. But the one I want to show you guys, which I think it was basically one of those light bulb moments the other day where I was looking at using I've always used a scoring system before I take a trade, and most of it's in my head. There are some systems that I trade where I like to have a bit of a checklist, and I thought to myself, well, why not have a checklist as part of the actual indicator itself? Because sometimes different strategies have different rules, and we'll certainly plug some of those rules into the Kilted Trend pilot and Kilted Nessie, which I'm still having a play with. It's just displaying some fantastic results for me at the moment. But this is something that's quite unique to Kilted Trading and on TradingView. Haven't seen anything like it yet, so really excited to bring you guys this one. The idea basically is if you have some rules. Now I've put in some sort of default rules which I follow in my trading, that's by some of my mentors. Number, and it's do it in order. So when you click the button here to take a score, effectively, it's going to show you on the chart. If we just look at actually we'll drill down onto the daily here, and let's blow up. So we'll bring up our chart again. We'll just move this along a little bit so we can see what we're doing, and bring up the options. So here if you want to score it, you don't have to score it. The default is actually off because I know it gets quite busy on the chart. So the default is actually off. But if you're thinking about a trade on a daily, so the way it works is you go through it in order, and it will basically rank your score in terms of your trades. So number one for me is always, I will never take a trade if I don't know how much risk is on the table. So that's number one. Number two is, have we checked for any obstacles in the way? So that's where you're looking for any resistance. So we can see here we're pushing up to the 200. So you wouldn't necessarily want to take this trade quite at the moment on a daily time frame. But then you come to, have you checked any news events? Now, I can't tell you how many times I got stopped out when I was beginning to trade, when I just didn't check the news. News events in Forex in particular plays havoc with some good trading decisions. So always check the news. Go onto the Forex Factory website. They've got a really nice calendar where you can even filter out events by importance, like, so you only want to see the medium and high impact events. You can filter those out, so make sure you have a look at those. You certainly don't want to really be in a trade within 2 hours, is what I was sort of taught. Within 2 hours you really want to be looking to get out of trade, and then after the news things will settle down. It'll be a bit crazy, especially with non-farm payroll, something like that will send the market into a bit of a tailspin. So stay on the safe side. My recommendation is a couple of hours after sort of major news events. Allow the market to settle a little bit and then get in. So we can see we're starting to get a medium score now because we've checked three of the main things. And then, some of the other checkpoints you want to take. Obviously, we've set up our charts with, the higher time frame right on there for direction. Sometimes if you're on the lower time frame, you do forget to check the higher time frame and see what's going on. So you always want to check that. So you're still at a medium score here. Now you look at, you might say, well, why have you numbed at 5.1, 5.2? So, whether you're trading a trend-based system or say a mean reversion type or reversal type system where you maybe want to trade a sideways market, they're sort of mutually exclusive, those two, so you probably want to select one or the other. So certainly if you're looking for price action, you want to trade the trend, which is where we always advise you want to trade, and then you want to make sure that you're actually trending. So here in the daily, we're sort of moving sideways, so we're not really going anywhere. But you have to check trend, yes. And then finally, are you using another indicator, which is effective? What you're trying to say here is, or what I'm trying to say here is that, are you using something else for confirmation? Okay, you've checked all these things, but what is the other level of confirmation that you've got? Have you got an indicator on there that's giving you something which is giving you that confirmation? And always make sure that you're I always tell people, a candle here, right, that's in play is a nothing candle, right? It doesn't tell a story until it's actually closed. So we check this one, and then, okay, you've gone through, you've done your due diligence, you've got your high score, bang, you're in a good situation. Now, the idea of this is obviously, as well as when you're taking a trade, every good trader, there's not a trader I don't know who's a professional trader who doesn't journal their trades. It's just a good thing to do, and it's something to get in the habit of. So once you're taking your trades, the idea here is you can take a screenshot of this to show your trade setup, verifies that you've got the discipline, and you've taking the trade according to your rules, or the set of rules here that we've sort of laid out for you at Kilted Trading, to help you make better trades. It's all about trading your plan and planning your trade effectively, is how we like to term it here at Kilted Trading. So let's have a look at let's go down to the 15-minute time frame where we're going to be looking to take trades. Actually, let's jump back out. So let's have a look here. So you'd be looking for signals on your 4 hour, and it's basically you're going to be reading the tape here. So you can see here, just as a quick run through, I basically had boxed off this area here, which on the daily was looking effectively like sideways action, and I've just sort of boxed that off. Obviously, when you come down to the 4 hour, tells a slightly different story here. We've got this push up to the upside. We've got the blue above the red. We've got that indicated by the little indicator down here as well, which is easy glance. So here, if you look, we've got some signals here. So you're up above. You've squeezed up above the 200. You've come nicely back down. Retouch. We continually just you like to see the market coming down to retest and then having that sort of pull back behind you. So here we've got a hammer candle. So if you just you don't need to be a genius in reading the candle formations and knowing what these are. It's going to automation is what we're all about here at Kilted Trading, making things easier for you to trade. So you've got a hammer candle here. If you just hover over the actual candle, it'll actually, the flag here on the chart, it'll actually tell you a little bit about what the actual candle means. So this one is very bullish when you have a sort of situation like this where you're sitting right on the moving averages. This is telling me that it wants to go up. You've got the yellow above the blue, which is the faster moving average above the slower one, which is good. And when you have moving averages here sort of coiled up, this is definitely an area of interest. And when you have these sort of candle patterns showing up, it's telling you as a price action trader, hey, this is probably a good time to get in ahead of your MACD guys, your stochastic guys, your RSI guys. They're coming in a little bit later. So price action is just getting you in that a little bit earlier to that trade. So that's what we've coded up. You'll also see we've got short inside bars, you've got short pin bars, you've got bullish pin bars, bullish inside bars, all color coded. Obviously with Kilted Trading, we like to keep things really, really simple. Blue for sky, you look up, what do we see? We see the sky. We've got blue. Anything bullish is basically blue, anything bearish is basically red. So, and that includes all the tags here. So that's all being customized. Just thought I'd get you guys across what we've got here with the Kilted price action trader. I think it's going to be fantastic. It's going to help a lot of folks identify those patterns in the market that's telling us something. And help us indeed if we're seeing, in this example here, we're seeing price push through the 200. We really don't want to be looking for the shorts, guys. We want to be looking for longs, and let's paint them for us. So MACD, we've got the Kilted MACD here on, which is basically showing entry here. And again here we've sort of got, it's fairly flat here. But look at the move up here off our price action. Over here, and we've got this hammer candle. We've got it flagged here, and then off it's went. We've got here with trend pushing up, a really strong trend here pushing through, and you'd have ridden this right up here. So really, really powerful indicator. I feel it's going to help you. Read the tape. It's going to help you understand what these significant candlestick patterns actually represent. It's all tooltips. The ones that don't really have tooltips, the ones that we love to trade at Kilted Trading, which is our pin bars basically, and our inside bars, whether they're bullish or bearish. We like to keep those in check. So yeah, that's a sneak peek. It's basically in the process of being uploaded now. I will go through the sort of stringent sort of checking with TradingView. They sort of monitor all their scripts that's getting submitted in the same way as Apple does with their apps, which I support. Is really good. And they'll let me know if there's anything out of whack there. But for the moment, this one's ready. It's being uploaded as we speak. Now we've headed into lockdown again here in Melbourne, so I guess Australia has been likened to the Spice Girls, I see, which is everyone's holding their weight except Victoria. Unfortunately, I live in the state of Victoria, so I'm here based in Melbourne. So we have gone back into lockdown, and so I'm quite keen to help out a few folks. Now the pricing on the Kilted price action trader is going to be the best we've ever seen. It's going to be significantly cheaper than any other indicator I've got, and you could argue it's going to be one of the best. Quite keen to help out those folks who are doing it tough. I know we're doing it tough around the world, but remember the one thing that we have seen which is recession proof is the markets. They have not closed from the start of this pandemic, and it doesn't look as if they're going to close anytime soon. So it's definitely an option for making money, guys, is to start off with some good foundations. We firmly believe that at Kilted Trading we've got some good systems in place that allows you to take advantage of the markets. So look out for that special, guys. It's going to be there. I'll hold that price basically until we come out of lockdown. Not quite sure how long that's going to be. It's going to be 6 weeks, so there's going to be plenty of time to jump in. I will be doing some other webcasts to I guess pick up some trades that we pick up on the Kilted price action trader. For those who are still on the fence a little bit, don't take my word for anything, guys. Have a look at the results, have a look at what it's got to offer. As I say, have a look at some candlestick patterns that we're using that are offered on the indicator, that should validate that they're good patterns to trade off of. And so we're long story short, we're going to offer them at a really, really good price to help a few folks out. Jumping quickly, so that's a price action trader. It's as I say, we'll have some more videos on that. Let's jump quickly to our trade calls that we've taken. Obviously, this is with Kilted Trading. I'm not telling anyone that you should be taking any of these trades, and this is just something that's come across our radar that we like to share with you guys, something you might want to have a look at. And if you decide to trade it, then it's based on fundamentals that we're having a look at Kilted Trading. JB Hi-Fi, we continue to like this one, especially heading into lockdown, and there's going to be a few more folks, I think, buying some more gadgets. We've got tax time coming up here in Australia. You've just finished ticked over 30th of June, so a lot of folks like myself will be looking to get our tax return done. There'll be certainly people buying before 30th of June hit, so that would have spiked some sales in JB more than likely. And now that we're heading into lockdown again, there's going to be more people buying, especially once they've done their tax returns. So we think we continue to like JB. One thing, I just had to look at the weekly chart there. We always like to look at the bigger picture. We're actually pinging a buy there as well. So I like this. It's actually on the monthly, we've actually pushed up through a sort of key level here, which is always good. What else do we want to say about it? We need to be careful. I am thinking about moving up my stop a little bit. With that said, so if we look at where price has reacted, so we've got a channel here, we've drawn a channel here in terms of price action. But you can see how well some of our indicators actually work. Now, this isn't one I've published. I'm looking to publish this one as well because it just continues to do a really good job. Remember, the blues lines here are where we tend to bounce off of in an uptrend. The red one here is where we tend to bounce off of on a downtrend. So if we look at JB, it's just continue to go up, so we'd expect it to be bouncing around here in the blue zone. But look at where the price has reacted. Look at where it's pulled back. Look how accurate that is. Here, touch, we're up into this upper zone here, we've gone through this sort of upper level, the 70, and now we're getting sort of into that over bought zone here, looking to pull back, and it's pulled back. Pull back here, We've got up near to the 70, but look at it here again. We've overreached here. We've hit the mark here, pulled straight back, and that that was pre-pandemic. Then we've pulled straight back. There's this oversold condition. We've bounced off of that, and we've come up. We've had our pullback. The pullback is now sort of behind us here, which is good, and we're now still pointing up again. So we've potentially got a little bit left to run, and we're looking around that 50 mark. I'm still aware of this level here, and that's why I'm saying, look, we do look as if we're still punching up. We've got momentum sort of in our favour, RSI in our favour. We've got the trend ticking up again to the upside. So we are looking to the upside, but I would be careful. Round about this level, I'd be looking to move up my stop a little bit, and probably towards that sort of 38 mark. We've got it at 36.6 from memory, and be looking to edge this up a little bit more just to manage our trade. That's how we're seeing it at the moment. So that's all I have, guys. Really excited again to release the Kilted Price Action Trader. I think it's going to be really good for those guys, who don't like a lot of indicators on the charts. They really like to trade the pure price action. It's more of a trader's view of the market. You can take off. You can even take off everything, even the moving average. We've coded that in, which wasn't easy, by the way, to take it off so that you've got your naked sort of chart, so you can focus on just pure price action. You get everything nice and clean. Get off your MACD, get off this. Just get everything nice and clean on your chart, and bang, away you go. You can dial in your key zones here, and off you go. But look, we're going to be doing some more videos on this to take you through in a little bit more detail in terms of what it's like to trade, whether it's naked or with price action on your candles, particular formations. Hope you've enjoyed this one, guys. Stay safe, and as I always say, look after your families, and happy trading this week. Thank you. Thanks, guys.